very excited for this game this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is where you're at. It's derby time right now. So we're going to get things underway. I'm going to run down the New York Stock Exchange roster very quickly. They are in black with white. We have number 0 is Sammy Dangerfield. Number 10 is Will Vereen. 125, Malcolm Sex. 164, Carl LeFou. 1983, I Don't Care Bear. Number 20, Abe Drinkin. Number 275, I Am Havoc. 311, Automatic. 42, Jeffery. Number 6, Jonathan R. 67, Tank Lloyd Wright. 833F, Carnage Asada. 87, Stankus. And number 9, Kenbo Slice. We'll get you the roster for Southern Discomfort in just a moment because things have already gotten underway.
True story. So, out there right now.
Well, jamming for the New York Stock Exchange, that is Jonathan R.
Sure enough.
Number 6, he is taking on the one and only number 23, Mr. Furia.
Both of them having a hard time muscling their way through that pack. Mr. Furia is being recycled back behind. Trying to mow his way through Wyatt and then Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm Sex doing a great job of holding back Furio. Jonathan R. still trying to get out of the top of the pack, and he's doing the dance up top with Sam Droid. And I believe that's Sutton Impact.
I think you're right. Got a little bit of a bridge that's holding this pack together ever so gingerly. Looks like they've gotten Packers back, but they've not got the no pack call. It looks like New York Stock Exchange, Jonathan R. is going to get lead jammer status first out of the pack. Mr. Furia is still stuck back there. He's already taken his helmet cover off. It looks like he's going to try to initiate a cover pass, but has not done so yet.
Well, and you know, it's the newest trend. I guess it's not so new, but it definitely is a trend in roller derby to do a bit of a star stash.
Yeah.
It's where you take your helmet cover off to eliminate you being the target. But I am pretty sure that that's not fooling anyone out there on the track right now because Malcolm Sex definitely recognizes that Furio is still the target.
We took the cover off to bear his red helmet. Yeah. So he's still target. Still hasn't passed, so it does look like it's just going to be a star stash, although his pivot's quite a bit ahead of him. Trying to break through New York's pack to try to make him room, but it's not worked just yet.
So Kenbo Slice is recycling Furia all the way back to the back of the pack. In comes Abe Drinkin, the pivot for New York Stock Exchange. Kenbo Slice trying to put a shoulder in. Furio gets around, and the jam's going to be called right then and there after Jonathan R. picks up 5 points for New York Stock Exchange.
Nice. So to get that London roster for you, they are in the white on black. It's 101 Blitzkrieg, 14 Samdroid, 1 Up Shrooms, 23 Mr. Furia, of course, 3 Sutton Impact, 33 Rolling Stoner, 5 Asbit, 515 Piston Broke, 6283 Spectral Aberration, 666 Reaper, 7 Horn Dog, 76 Illbilly, 77 Boss Bear, M16 Ballistic Whistle. Those are your Knights of Discomfort today.
Well, we do have the jam underway. Sammy Dangerfield going to the penalty box for a forearm, but up and over the pack, 666. That is Reaper, much to the delight of all the Hells Bells back in the UK tuning in right now, cheering on their coach. He is out for lead jammer. That's going to be the first lead jam for Soda Disco. Trying to get out of the pack still is Carnage Asada. Carnage Asada still donning the star for the New York Stock Exchange. Has a very tight 3-wall at the top of the pack. Reaper trying to spin around Kenbo Slice, goes down. Kenbo Slice also going down. Malcolm Sex trying to stop Reaper. Reaper into the infield.
Malcolm taking his spot at the back of the pack, keeping Reaper back. Reaper's trying to juke around and get through. Lost him. Oh, there he goes. He is through. That is 5 points on the board for Southern Discomfort.
So now it is a tie game, and, you know, I was very excited to be calling this game with you, Julia.
Right?
This, in my opinion, is going to be one of the better matchups of the weekend.
Yes.
And here we go, another 5 points. That's 10 points so far on the jam as Malcolm Sex is in the penalty box.
So as he comes into the pack, you can see him juking around and getting him a little bit lost behind Boss Bear. Reaper coming in through the center is just going to get past Sammy Dangerfield. He gets knocked out to the outside, and Sammy's going to recycle him as far back as possible.
Abe Drinkin taken to the outside, calling some assistance up to Sammy Dangerfield at the front, but another 5 points for Reaper. Out of the pack now, doing a bit of that star stash that we were previously discussing. Carnage Asada Reaper's looking a little gassed, but I think it's more so that he's just assessing the situation on the pack. There is a blocker advantage to the New York Shock Exchange. So the jam is going to expire with ballistic whistle exiting the box as the jam gets called. So we have 9 on the board for the New York Shock Exchange, 17 for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
That's some big points in just the first couple of jams. One of our sponsors here today is Armorflex. They have a new era of protective gear. I was reading 2 different things at the same time. All right, the jam is on. Out front is...
That is Blitzkrieg. Yeah. That's number 101 in white. At the back of the pack, jamming for New York Shock Exchange, going against a tight white wall at the top of the pack. That's 275. I Am Havoc. Experiencing some havoc at the top of the pack.
Right. Blitzkrieg meets up with a 3 wall of New York. It's got knocked into the inside and recycled back. Malcolm's X once again leading that, what I'm going to call a Triforce.
Piston broke and Spectral Aberration trying to slow things down, but I Am Havoc is out of the pack now. Hit in the back, Blitzkrieg, but he decides to call the jam. Let's see what the penalty call is there. He looks like that was a bit of discomfort for the skater from Southern Discomfort.
Definitely.
But he did pick up 4 points, Julia.
Yep.
All right, so lining up again is Jonathan R. for New York Shock Exchange. Got to wait and see who's crouched so low we can't even recognize him. I want to say that's Furia.
I was going to guess that it's Furia.
Oh, nope, it is not. Nice crouch down stance by, I believe, Boss Bear. No, Boss Bear is blocking right there.
No, it's number 7. That is Horn Dog.
Ah, Horn Dog trying to horn his way in through that wall of white. Jonathan R. out of the pack now, declared lead jammer for New York Shock Exchange.
Horn Dog taking the inside, but then taking the outside and getting knocked out, but coming in with no comp penalty. He is through the pack and coming on his first scoring pass for
Nice
Disco.
Clipping by Kenbo Slice, taking out Ballistic Whistle. Up the inside goes Horn Dog. Horn Dog getting clipped by Sammy Dangerfield into the infield, but he was out free and legal. Picked up 4 more points for Sodisco.
That jam is going to go ahead and be called. Looks like those 4 points are going to be the only 4 points for Sodisco. Did New York pick up? No, okay,
no,
there we go. 3.
Yeah, we got 3 on the board for Jonathan R., but smart move calling it because, white was swarming.
Right.
And just, we already had a jammer out from Sodisco, so good call by Jonathan R. We have Carnage Asada lining up again, now against Mr. Furia. Both penalty boxes are empty, so we have a full complement of skaters on the track for each team. Carnage Asada trying to get past that wall of white. Spectral and Sutton Impact making his life less than happy right now. Piston broke also in the mix as the pivot. Furia trying to get past that 1-2-3 punch. We have 2 skaters going to the box. That is Spectral from Southern Discomfort and John Wyatt, also known as Abe Drinkin.
Oh, you know his real name. I was like, that's Abe, my friend.
Well, yeah. I've known him for quite a while. He started as a super fan, actually, for Windy City Rollers, ended up moving out to New York City, got very involved in roller derby, and he has been a strong member of the New York Shock Exchange ever since. Unfortunately, though, for Abe Drinkin or John Wyatt, whatever you call him, he's in the penalty box right alongside Carnage Asada.
So, of course, Power Jam for Sodisco, who buzzed through that pack. 5 more points on the board for Mr. Furia.
Jeffrey also in the box for New York Shock Exchange. We're going to try to find out what the penalties are for you momentarily, folks. Furia trying to get past 164. That is Carl Lefaux, and he did. 5 more points for Southern Discomfort. Tight pack. Carnage Asada trying to get past Spectral. Taking a tumble on the outside. Furia trying to punch his way past Malcolm Sex. Abe Drinkin.
Furia does have lead, but it looks like Carnage is sent back to the box.
Yeah,
he was only on the track for a couple of seconds.
I believe I saw an illegal procedure. Not sure what the exact call was on that. We'll try to clarify for you folks. And that's another 5 points in the favor of Southern Discomfort, courtesy of the skates of Mr. Furia.
No joke. That's a 15-point jam for the Knights of Discomfort. So right now we're sitting at 14-40 in favor of Southern Discomfort. The penalty box now with one lone New York Shock Exchange member who is the jammer. So we're going to have a power start.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see right above the wall of white. Okay.
Who is it?
There was a bobbing Reaper head with the mouth agape, and it just made me giggle on the mic.
I think the other one might be Shrooms. I only saw it for a second.
Oh, one up. We do love us some Shrooms. The skater. The skater.
The skater.
Speaking of Reaper, here he is, number 666, back in the mix. The one and only, one of the legends of UK roller derby, showing here why he is one of the legends. Picked up lead jammer for Knights of Discomfort.
He really just danced his way past everyone right there. The agility he's got is just amazing.
Well, and he grew up as a dance skater, if I'm not mistaken.
I called it. What's up?
Very, very fast on his feet, that Reaper. Reaper trying to get past. Nice scoop out by Abe Drinkin. We're going to see, was that out of play? No, it was not. Totally legal. So Reaper's got to come back in. Not happy with that call necessarily, but he understands. Doesn't matter whether or not you like it. It's what it is. Out of the pack is Carnage Asada. Carnage Asada did go to the box twice in the last jam.
Reaper's not having. He's going to go ahead and call it off. 5 points on the board, though, for So Disco, bringing him up to 45. That's my simple announcer math for the day.
Oh, that just hurt my brain even hearing it. And again, we have the floating Reaper head. Gotta love the fans of roller derby. So here we have Shrooms, the aforementioned fabulous skater from Southern Discomfort. He is wearing the stripe for So Disco. The stripe for New York Shock Exchange is Abe Drinkin. So we have Blitzkrieg jamming for Southern Discomfort. Trying to see, we got I Am Havoc. Havoc will be jamming for New York Shock Exchange. Great tight wall up front. The deadly threesome of Spectral, Samdroid, and Shrooms. In comes Abe Drinkin trying to break that up. Blitzkrieg trying to get past Malcolm Sex.
I Am Havoc taking a little bit of a spill after trying to, I suppose, bounce off So Disco's guys, but
great
looks
anchoring.
like he's having a little bit of equipment adjustment or something. Oh,
Ooh.
So close.
Now he was called lead jammer, but he did get flipped out of bounds. Better to play it safe than sorry. Nice call by I Am Havoc. I Am Havoc trying to spin around Spectral, just takes a tumble to the ground. Meanwhile, Blitzkrieg has yet to breach the pack, being contained by Abe Drinkin, Automatic, and I believe that's Tank Lloyd Wright.
Did you leave off Mr. Sex?
Oh, I will never never forget Malcolm Sex. In the penalty box, unfortunately, we do have number 515 that's pissed and broke. He's taking a bit of a break in that sin bin. Lee Jam still in control by Havoc. Havoc trying to get past that three wall of white at the top of the pack. Tank Lloyd Wright bridging that gap, keeping those packs together. Blitzkrieg having a rough go at it, being forced in the infield by Malcolm Sex and Tank Lloyd Wright. Havoc staying clean and legal, does a tippy toe outside, but re-entered legally. Gets forced out by Shrooms. Shrooms taking down Havoc. Great stopping by Automatic. Automatic kind of did a little stop of his own skate and toe stops to slow Shrooms down from going backwards. Nice job by Automatic of the Shock Exchange. So 4 points picked up by the Shock Exchange on that last pass, Sleazer. We have 45 on the board for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby and 18 for New York Shock Exchange.
We have about 16 and a half minutes in this half. This game is just zinging by. But as you said before, I think this is going to be maybe my favorite matchup of the day, but certainly a really good matchup. Even though we're seeing Southern Discomfort is pulling out quite a bit ahead of New York, still both teams are really busting their humps on the track.
Now, and I know you and I just met, actually. This is our first time calling a game together. High fives to that. But we know that every game this weekend is going to be exciting.
Oh, no. I wait for this tournament every year. This is like my favorite thing ever. I'm so excited to be here.
Speaking of excitement, we got a new jammer for the Shock Exchange. That is Kenbo Slice. Kenbo Slice does get lead jammer. Checks and clears, makes sure that Boss Bear went out with him. Yes, he did. So Kenbo Slice is now on his scoring pass. Excellent footwork by number 9 in black. Staying clean and legal. saved himself from the cut.
Yep. Yeah, he went out at the last second. He's going to come on back. In the meantime, Horn Dog has been trying to make his way through, finds a hole on the inside. He is through on his initial pass. Will be coming in for his first scoring pass for Southern Discomfort.
Kenbo Slice trying to fight up the inside, and he's going to call the jam. I believe you could hear a call it coming from the bench. I'm pretty sure that was Gotham Girls Roller Derby All-Stars own Vicious Van Gogo. She's one of the bench coaches this weekend for the New York Shock Exchange.
Called it just in time. Nothing picked up that time by So Disco. 5 points put on the board by New York. So we're at 23-45 right now.
Now, the good thing for New York Shock Exchange fans tuning in at home, that is the third jam in a row that So Disco has been held scoreless. So they're closing that gap just a little bit, but bit by bit is all that matters, especially when you have a genius of roller derby at the helm, Jonathan R. But look at this, Deadly himself, Mr. Furia, jamming for So Disco.
Both the jammers knocked out, being recycled back by the opposing teams. Malcolm Sex is going to, I guess, take him.
I think they just wanted us to notice their jerseys a little bit better,
right,
so
no,
they skated backwards towards us.
Suddenly the game is in rewind. How far?
Yeah, did somebody just hit rewind on the VCR player?
It's not a trick of the feed. Okay, now Jonathan R. is back in play. Is Furia back on? Nope. Furia's still being recycled back. Jonathan R. is through. New York has lead jammer status on this jam. Furia is still trying to bust his way through the pack. Doing a little bit of a whip off his teammate on the inside. Now, he is through on his first scoring pass. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Good call by Jonathan R. Jonathan R. taken to the infield. He knows that Furia is anything but, somebody to dance with.
Yeah, he's everything in his name.
He's everything.
he's
Furia
all the things.
Everything. That is correct. Now we're seeing a couple more big heads. I hope the viewers at home can see these as well.
Yeah, no, it's on the feed. Do you see it bouncing back there? Yeah, so I wonder if they have like the entire So Disco lineup.
I would not be surprised, actually.
Oh, man. I need to know where these giant heads are made.
I believe that was Shrooms, actually, which would make perfect sense because Shrooms is one up in the game. He is wearing the Jam Star for Southern Discomfort. He is opposed by Carnage Asada. Carnage Asada, you can recognize him by his very excellent beard, forcing its way through the pack. But no, that's going to be a back block called on Carnage Asada. He's going to be going to the penalty box. Meanwhile, it's all up to Shrooms in the pack, hearing whistles being blown. We're going to see what the penalties. It goes to Malcolm Sex. Hopefully we can get an update on the penalties for you soon. Oh, that's a nice little star pass attempt. He handed it off to the one and only Ballistic Whistle. Ballistic Whistle taken to the outside by number 1983. That is I Don't Care Bear. Ooh, I Don't Care Bear taking a clip to the face.
Oh.
Good friendship by Boss Bear upon I Don't Care Bear, making sure he's okay. Down goes the pivot. Ballistic Whistle still holding the helmet cover in his hand. He's out of the pack now. Wolverine and I Don't Care Bear at the top of the pack trying to break up that wall of white. It's kind of like a little snowflake clumping that Carnage Asada is trying to get past. Ballistic Whistle hitting the back of the pack.
Each wall is special and unique then, right?
Yes, always.
Definitely. Well, Carnage is certainly having a time get through. Looks like both the So Disco Jammer and Abe were taken out at the same time. Ballistic not super happy about something. Comes in behind Malcolm, which maybe that's what it was, frankly.
Yeah.
Malcolm's been holding the back of the pack, holding back these jammers with some real sustainability.
And you see
today.
Ballistic making penalty signals as though, because
right.
he did start his career as a referee, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He's also a coach for the fantastically devastating London Roller Girls. So he is a very well-versed skater. The only thing is, it pulls you out of the zone when you start making calls like that on the track. Well, he did pick up 2 points, so that's going to bring the board 25 for New York Shock Exchange, 47 for Southern Discomfort.
Still a pretty substantial lead, but we've been held in the 40s with Southern Discomfort, and New York is creeping up on them. They've got about 11 minutes left in this half to do as much creeping as possible.
All right, so we were listening to the local DJ playing a little bit of Nintendo music.
Yeah, it was Super Mario Brothers going on out here.
Yeah, pretty excellent job.
Does that mean Shrooms is on? No,
actually it's Blitzkrieg.
Okay.
Trying to mix it up a little bit. Maybe perhaps she was playing that because Shrooms jammed in the previous jam.
I gotcha.
So we have I Am Havoc taking on Blitzkrieg. It's a very good pairing. Very different styles of jamming.
Havoc is up there in the front. Both of them being held back by opposing walls, almost mirrored here. It looks like there's going to be a penalty called on one of the Southern Discomfort.
That's 515 piston broke.
It's a multiplayer block called on him. In the meantime, I Am Havoc knocked out to the outside, recycled quite a bit back.
Yeah, taken back by Sudden Impact. That was definitely some impact on his gameplay, but he still has lead jammer. So that's, we're trading him back and forth with lead jammer status thus far. Samdroid in the box for Southern Discomfort. Nice takeout by Sudden Impact at the top of the pack. Beautiful, perfectly executed hit onto I Am Havoc. I Am Havoc now has to dance with Sudden Impact at the front again. Gets the best of him. Even Sudden Impact was shaking his head like, yeah, that was a good dip down there, Havoc. Havoc did pick up, I believe, 5 points on that last pass. Malcolm Sex going to the penalty box.
Maybe this will give Blitzkrieg a chance to get out. He's still not come out of his initial. In the meantime, New York's IM is just going to slide on through. Another 5 points on the board, bringing us up a 10-point jam so far. Much needed for New York. They are catching up fast to Southern Discomfort's 47 points.
I Am Havoc skipping up the inside, doing a little bit of a, not even an apex jump, just an apex skipperoo.
Yes.
5 more points.
It was delicate. It was nice.
So now I am looking at the penalty totals so far. Nobody in real penalty trouble, of course, because you start getting nervous when people are at 5 penalties. But this is only the first half, and there are 3 skaters from the New York Shock Exchange that are sitting at 3, opposed to, Southern Discomfort that have only a few players altogether that have any penalties whatsoever. So we got to be careful about Malcolm Sex, Abe Drinkin, and Carnage Asada both sitting at 3.
Sorry, I think we're looking at these boards. These boards are new. Usually, I'm used to looking at right at Ringster. I think actually those are the jammer rotations. So the times they've jammed.
No, this is a bit of a learnament here, folks. We're getting some new technology.
I'm not seeing.
Yeah, but I am seeing a lot of good derby on the track. We have Kenbo Slice jamming once again.
Definitely looks like we got a star sash from Horn Dog, but it's not fooling Malcolm Sex and his 2 other teammates. That's Sammy Dangerfield and who else?
And Carl LeFou, number 164. So Kenbo Slice is taken to the outfield, to the ref lane, if you will. I believe that was a back block called on number 76, Illbilly, the pivot for Southern Discomfort. Down goes Kenbo Slice. We're going to see what the call is on that. Yep, that's a low block onto number 77, Boss Bear from Southern Discomfort. So he will be joining Illbilly in the penalty box. Kenbo Slice trying to get around one last blocker. Yes, he does. 5 more points for New York Shock Exchange. That is the second jam in a row that they have obtained lead jammer status.
And we are so close to a lead change right now, just 2 points.
Well, and
3, I suppose.
Well, a 2-point to bring it to a tie, 3 for a lead change, correct. And there they are, those points needed. That's 4. So not only is there a lead change, but just 1 more for good measure, of course. And at this point in time, we have not had a Southern Discomfort jammer break the pack yet. Blitzkrieg, I believe, trying to see
Horn Dog.
Oh, it's Horn Dog. I do apologize.
He still has star in hand. He has not passed it off. Malcolm holding him back by himself.
Kenbo Slice forcing his way out of the pack. Another 5 in the sky for Kenbo and New York Shock Exchange. Great job by Malcolm Sex popping Horn Dog into the infield. Horn Dog staying clean and legal though with that toe stop in the infield.
I think that was the natural conclusion. That brings us up. The lead change kind of substantial at this point, 59-47, which doesn't seem like a huge point spread. But between these 2 teams, I mean, we've really seen some hard work in. So this could make a huge difference.
Well, and this is only the second lead change of the game. We had the first one early on in the second jam, if I'm not mistaken. We started out 5-0 advantage Shock Exchange, switched it up in the second jam 9-17 advantage Sodisco, excuse me.
We are going to have an official timeout. Not positive what they are discussing. In the meantime, I can tell you about some of the other great sponsors that we have for the MRDA Championships this weekend. Rydell, you may have heard of them. They are made in the USA, made for Derby. Rydell skates. Also, we've got Quick. You can roll faster and farther with Quick ceramic bearings. Powerdyne representing out here today. They have performance plates for the modern Derby game. It's Powerdyne. These are some old school sponsors.
Gotta love it.
I do. Radar. We got the Radar Prestos available now in 99A hardness for the very grippiest of floors. Nail your stops with Presto from Radar.
So we have everybody waiting patiently, hoping we can get an update for you right now, but it is still an official timeout.
Coming up next, who do we have?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this.
Are you?
Oh yeah. I was so stoked I didn't get scheduled to announce because I would not be able to remain unbiased for either of these teams. I have just a little bit of love in my heart for a certain team from the Pacific Northwest.
Someone,
perhaps
not naming names.
The Outcasts all damn day. However, now that they went from 2 leagues to one giant superpower, I gotta say, I have fallen all sorts of Derby in love with the Texas Outlaws, man. They are the upstart team of the season, if you will. So seeing the longtime stalwarts of the MRDA, the Puget Sound Outcasts, taking on the super team from Texas called the Texas Outlaws, it's just going to be brilliant. So what kind of update do you have for us, Sleazer?
They are going to go ahead and call a cut on the white jammer. You'll see that he's in the box. So we're starting off with a power jam for New York, which is going to give him pretty strong advantage. Jonathan Eyre out there for the first time in a while. Excited and so full of energy as always. He's trying to muscle his way through a pretty tightly clumped wall. He finds that the inside is open. He is through. New York's got lead.
Signature thumbs up. I was waiting for that to happen. That was the first one of the game. Ooh, nice swooping around. Samdroid though taking the winds out of the sails of Jonathan Eyre. Great job by Sutton Impact. Not going to get the call on that because Sutton Impact was out of play, so that's a no pass, no penalty. Jonathan Eyre now doing the dance up against Shrooms, Samdroid, and Spectral. Horndog back on the track. He is tussling with Sammy Dangerfield, Automatic, and Tank Lloyd Wright. Malcolm Sex communicating to their teammates. Sutton looking for some calls that just aren't quite there. Jonathan Eyre now recycled to the back of the pack. To the box goes Samdroid. So Samdroid is going to be taking his second box trip to the Derby Elite penalty box. And Jonathan Eyre is out and around. 5 more points on the board for the New York Shock Exchange. Horndog trying to get past Malcolm Sex and Tank Lloyd Wright. That's a 1-2 dance I don't ever want to be a part of. And to the Derby Elite penalty box for a track cut. That's Jonathan Eyre. Jonathan Eyre going to the Derby Elite penalty box.
In the meantime, Shrooms is out after a star pass. He dons the star as he re-enters, slides past his own teammates. Sutton was the one trying to keep him a spot. He was through as New York kind of just collapsed when he come up on him. 5 more points on the board for So Disco.
Fighting his way through the pack. That's Shrooms trying to stay legal. Sammy Dangerfield and Tank Lloyd Wright coming in careening on Shrooms, but Shrooms swoops around, Automatic weapon out to the outside. Otter taking him to the ref lane. Samdroid doing a great job of protecting any recycling behind the pack by Otter. Shrooms trying to get through as the jam expires.
Jonathan was coming back behind Sutton just as that jam ends. No points picked up. That last pass by New York, 4 points more for So Disco. So that's a 9-5 jam, bringing us up 68 to 56 with just under 4 minutes left in this half.
And 68 in the favor of New York Shock Exchange.
Yes,
That's right.
I should mention.
We are very excited up here in the booth.
In
our castle in the sky, if you will. So we have Mr. Furia back on the line. And yes, we know we've gotten a few comments already. That is how he wants his name pronounced.
I was told this.
He has a fabulous, brilliant accent because he's actually from France. And so he is Furia, not Furio, like us lazy Americans tend to call him.
Well, no, I was told last year, someone wrote me and was like, it's Furio.
Well, when it comes from the skater's mouth themselves, I usually tend to believe that one first. And Furia must know we're talking about him.
No,
and he wants us to have a few more things to say about him, such as lead jammer right there for Furia.
In the box?
Yes, that's Abe Drinkin. Abe Drinkin did go to the penalty box. He is wearing the Jammer Star for the first time this afternoon, switching things up just a bit. Nice spin around by Furia. Furia out and around for 5 more points. Abe Drinkin facing that tough wall. Down goes Drinkin.
Furia comes in. Malcolm Sex is currently in the box, but taking his place back in the back, Tank Lloyd Wright.
So Furia has 2 skaters at the top of the pack, does get past, and beautiful footwork by Furia, picking up 4 more points on that last pass. Out of the Derby Elite penalty box comes Malcolm Sex.
Right in front of Furia. And Furia prepares himself, taking a pause,
Amazing
trying to find
little
his gap.
A hockey stop there by Furia to assess the situation just a little bit better. And Ballistic Whistle not very happy about it. He's going to get 2 penalties back-to-back, unfortunately, for the fans from Southern Discomfort, Knights of Discomfort. Down goes Abe Drinkin. Beautiful maneuvering by number 76, the pivot for So Disco, Illbilly. Abe Drinkin trying to get past that wall, being caught up on the inside, does find a hole around the out in lane 4. He's out now, shaking his head. Did take a little bit of time to get out, but these are strong men from the UK.
No, this is...
So we do have our 3rd lead change of the day, my dear. 68 on the board for New York Shock Exchange and 69 for Furia and the Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. Oh, and there come all the heads alive. They're all cheering.
Looks like we have an official review. I'm not positive which team has called it.
Well, it looks like it was from Southern Discomfort. Southern
Okay.
Discomfort calling for the official review.
I saw both of them out there, like, right when it was happening, so... We also have sponsorship by Roller Derby Elite, the brand that defines the sport. They are official sponsor of the men's roller derby. Oh, sorry, the men's team USA roller derby.
Yes, they are.
Which we do have. We do have a representative from Men's World Cup is happening next year in Calgary.
So, Alberta,
yeah,
Canada.
I know. I want to say Calgary so bad, but I've been corrected too many times at this point.
It's so exciting. Yeah, I saw Statman is in the house. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it personally. I have applied to announce, but I'm also going to apply for round 2 of one of the coaches for Team USA.
Nice.
It was a wonderful, fantastic experience, and thank you to Roller Derby Elite, one of the sponsors of Team USA Men's. They definitely set up our skaters from Team USA Men's with some of the sickest custom boots I've ever seen. And let me tell you what, Team USA Men's definitely brought home the gold in a very strong way. But there are a lot of leagues, a lot of countries in the world that have stepped up their game.
Definitely.
In such a short amount of time. I cannot wait to see what happens. And what's exciting is when you see somebody like Mr. Furia actually skating for his native land, Team France, against his teammates of Southern Discomfort as they skate for their homeland of England. I mean, it's just phenomenal to watch them do the dance against each other on the track. It's a beautiful thing.
That was actually the first tournament I announced. I was kind of terrified because it was Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
Oh, no big deal.
But
no big deal.
No big deal. But yeah, no, it was brilliant. I cannot wait to see what they've got lined up next year.
Oh, and I see who we've got lined up on the Lebeda Wheels jam line. That is Jonathan R., one of the founding forefathers of Team USA Men's, against one of Team England's own, Reaper 666. Gotta love saying that. I can never say that enough. Also, a special shout out to all the ladies that Reaper coaches. Hell yeah, hell's bells. I cannot say it enough. The UK Derby community is phenomenal, and they were so loving and so supportive of everybody at the World Cup because it was hosted last go about was in Birmingham, England, and I just had a blast. And thank you so much to all the folks out in the UK for all their hospitality. So we're still trying to wait and find out what the scoop is with the official review. We'll get an update for you momentarily. So as my partner tries to find out what the scoop is.
It was much simpler than we'd surmised. It was the challenge of the multiplayer block, but the penalty does stand.
Well, and you do get one challenge per period, so why not, slow any momentum that New York Shock Exchange may have. Oh, Reaper being tossed into the infield hardcore by number 9, Kenbo Slice. So it wasn't necessarily a waste of review, just kind of slowed things down a bit, maybe allowing Sodisco to regroup.
Right.
Reaper taking a toe stops to the outside. Kembo Slice calling for the cavalry. And Sudden Impact going to the penalty box, saying thank you to Ninja, the outside pack ref. Ever polite, Sudden Impact. And not just because of that sweet mustache. Jonathan R. trying to get past big takeout. Spectral Apparition also hitting the ground as well. Sammy Dangerfield blocking Spectral from taking a second crack at Jonathan R., who does have lead jammer.
And Jonathan zinging his way through. He's coming up on scoring. It also looks like he may have gotten lapped the opposing jammer, Reaper. Jonathan knocked into the insides, recycled back. He's climbing his way back through the pack.
Jonathan R. taken out by Ballistic Whistle, excuse me. Ballistic Whistle, hop, skipping, and jumping all the way back.
He got knocked in, but he was going back anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good.
Spectral and Whistle, excuse me. I keep seeing M16. You'd think I know his name by now. Piston Broke did receive the star, wasn't able to capitalize on that opportunity. So we are going to have our fourth lead change of the game. Wowie, wowie, wowzerson. 69 on the board for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, 73 for the New York Shock Exchange.
Looks like that period is winded down. So wound down? I know words. I work here. So it's we're gonna stop for 15 minutes. New York Shock Exchange sitting at 73, Southern Discomfort at 69. This is gonna be the second half New York Shock Exchange versus Southern Discomfort Roller Derbies, Knights of Discomfort. We stopped at the half 73 to 69. As for looking at the penalty boards, we've only got two people that are in any real jeopardy, and they're still not in real jeopardy. It's Malcolm Sex and Abe Drinkin from New York Shock Exchange sitting with 4 penalties. Otherwise, pretty much 2s and 3s, a couple of 1s. So no one's in real jeopardy as we enter this half. Mr. Furia trying to bust his way through. Oh, just as I say that, Malcolm is off to the box. That'll be his 5th. That was a track cut called on Malcolm Sex. And we've got Furia trying to dance his way through. Kembo Slice up at the front. He gets knocked out to the outside and taken back. So Disco with their wall up, Jonathan R. Neither of these jammers have made their way through so far. Furia is going to be recycled back to the back once again. Jonathan R. also following that. Thought recycling was only popular in the Pacific Northwest, but here in the Midwest, it's becoming the thing to do, right?
So we finally have a lead jammer established. It took almost a full minute, and it's going to be to the jammer in white, Mr. Furia. Furia being dragged back by 164. That is Carl LeFou.
Went ahead and called it off. That was a 0-0 jam, so we're still sitting on 73 to 69 in favor of New York.
So for jam number 2 of the second half, we have 666 in white. That is Reaper. He will be taking on 833F. Yes, that does spell out beef. Carnage Asada. Both teams have a full complement of skaters as the Derby Elite penalty box sits empty. So now they're just creeping past that Lebeda Wheels jam line. Excuse me. But the pack is moving very, very slow. Reaper trying to get around the outside, facing Sammy Dangerfield, being forced out into the ref lane. Carnage Asada trying to get past that wall of white just at that antic pivot line. Both packs just getting past the antic pivot line. Carnage Asada trying to force his way. Reaper trying to get past. Kembo Slice does so. Beautiful footwork by 666. I'm going to say one of my favorite pairings definitely is 666 against number 9 in black.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Very similar skating styles. Ooh, and to the box with a back block goes Carnage Asada. So Carnage Asada is going to be sitting in the Derby Elite penalty box for up to 30 seconds while Reaper's trying to get past. He does so. That's a lead jammer status. Second jam in a row for the Knights of Discomfort from Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
Reaper comes in, knocking one of the New York guys to his knees immediately. He's weaving his way through the pack, and there he is, through on his first scoring pass. That is 5 on the board for Southern Discomfort.
Yeah, great job of Sodisco for playing a bit of offense for their mate right off the bat. Ballistic Whistle calling for Reaper to go to the inside. Reaper switches up the games a bit. Does a pirouette, much to the crowd's delight. Gets out. We have that lead change, my friends. So that's the 5th one in this game. Kenbo Slice said, hey, Val, you want to see something? I'll take Reaper out to the outside. Drags him back. Reaper says that was a serious hit. Calls it a day. 0-0 on that last pass, but we do have 73 on the board for New York Shock Exchange and 79 for Southern Discomfort. Ballistic Whistle very happy with his teammate. Giving Reaper a bit of encouragement right there. Nice, solid derby love. Ooh, look at this. The Antic Skates pivot line getting a little bit of love out there. I wonder if these skaters remember the only person that can actually line up on the pivot line is the person wearing the helmet cover with a stripe. I feel like people tend to forget these things these days. So I Am Havoc is jamming for the New York Shock Exchange. He is doing the dance against Blitzkrieg.
Nice. Oh, looks like Blitzkrieg is going to do a little backwards jump and picking up lead jammer status for So Disco. So he jogs along. In the meantime, his pivot is being sent to the box.
Yeah, that was a forearm charge to Piston Broke. Blitzkrieg already at the back of the pack. 3rd jam in a row for Southern Discomfort. Ooh, and to the box. What do we have there? We have a jammer going. Who is that?
That is I Am Havoc. And the penalty has not popped up yet.
So we're going to wait and see. But if I'm not mistaken, I saw a 2. That's right. He got an insubordination for not exiting the track immediately. That was a forearms hands call out on I Am Havoc. So he's going to serve a double penalty right there. That's 1 minute in the Derby Elite penalty box.
An old school penalty.
Pop to the outside is Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg on a scoring pass. He already picked up 5 that first pass around. Sammy Dangerfield just staying on him like glue. And Kenbo Slice getting into the action now. Piston Broke trying to clear the way for his jammer Blitzkrieg. Samdroid and Sudden Impact trying to get I Don't Care Bear out of the way. Same with Carl LeFou. Carl LeFou trying to slow down Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg has 2 blockers left at the top of the pack. They're going to have to let him go for fear of being out of play. Yep, 5 more points on the board for the Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
You get that warning and you've got to release. It looks like number 14, Droid, is going to be sitting in the box.
Yeah, Sam Droid going to the penalty box for Southern Discomfort for a multiplayer block. I Am Havoc out of the box, out of the pack, now eligible to score. And Blitzkrieg says, you know what? I'm cool with that. We're going to slow it down a bit. So 3 more points picked up on that pass. 0 for New York Shock Exchange. 13 on that jam for Southern Discomfort. 73 on the board. 92 for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby with 23 minutes and 52 seconds left in the game. Getting a little bit of New York love in the house, pumped up right now. The Ramones are coming to pump up the New York Shock Exchange, who have Abe Drinkin as their jammer this go-around. He's taking on Horn Dog, number 7.
Looks like Horn Dog is going to have a seat in the box, waiting for him to pop up. This is only his 2nd penalty, luckily. That is a high block called on Horn Dog, and he's now going to be joined by number 76, Illbilly.
Illbilly's got to take the long way home because he did go past the point of no return. And that is for a back block, Sleazer.
Show enough. So it's going to be 2 down, one of them being the jammer. That's kind of a big deal. New York still working their way through the pack. Lead jammer status is obtained. So New York is currently lead.
That is Abe Drinkin. That's the first jam this period that New York Shock Exchange has gotten lead jammer. They did have the advantage 4-2 blocker pack. Abe Drinkin doing great maneuvering around Boss Bear, picking up 5 points on that last pass. 4 3-pack advantage, New York Shock Exchange. Both jammers in the mix. Jeffery trying to swoop and play some offense, but Boss Bear, Samdroid, and Ballistic Whistle just making life not very fun for Abe Drinkin right now.
Illbilly coming into the back of the pack, out of the penalty box, trying to break his way through. Horn Dog has stashed the star in his hand. Potentially going to pass it. It looked like earlier in the game he was more a fan of the star stash rather than star pass.
Yeah, and that's one of the tactics that is just
legit.
meant to be confusionary. But, ooh, it looks like a little bit of confusion right there. We're going to try to see what that call is for you folks.
I'm going to take a guess. It looked to me like yeah, I'm right. It was a track cut right in front of Malcolm Sex. I know he didn't mean to do it, but he bopped right in front of him. So track cut called on him. Looked like back block is being called on Ballistic, so he's going to join Horn Dog in the box. Horn Dog is sitting as the jammer, even though he's got the star in his hands.
Boy, he's really doing the star stash hardcore
He's
right there.
stashing it, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I do. I like that star stash. Let's stash it even further, shall we? So it'll be interesting to see who Southern Discomfort fields as their pivot, but they can't actually because their pivot, Illbilly, I believe, is in the penalty box. I'm sorry, that's Ballistic Whistle for a back block. So,
all right, he's put it back on. He's stopped stashing. He is
no
standing,
stashing this stuff.
So there's probably about 9 seconds left. Horn Dog can come back onto the track. He stood right as the jam ended.
So
Malcolm,
Jonathan R. is jamming unopposed. He's trying to get past that 3-wall of Spectral Aberration. Sudden Impact and Piston Broke. Wow, down goes the skaters. Let's see where that call is going to be. And it is going to go on Piston Broke for a low block. So Jonathan R. is slow dancing up top with Sudden Impact, who is going to have to let him go. Lead jammer, second jam in a row, New York Shock Exchange. Horn Dog trying to get his way through the pack. Beautiful apex jump by Jonathan R. Jonathan Air on that pass, more like it.
Lol. 4 points picked up on that magnificent apex jump. Comes in, he's knocked into the inside by Spectral. He's going to be recycled back behind Ballistic.
Malcolm X got a star pass violation is what the illegal procedure was for. So he's getting very close, sitting on 6 penalties as he sits in the Derby Elite penalty box.
And Jonathan coming up, taking another pass at this pass. He's going to be knocked out to the outside. Once again, recycled back. He's going to have to come in behind Sutton. As did Otter. So after some 2-star stashes, Horn Dog is back. He's got the star on just as Jonathan ends that jam. Nothing picked up at all by So Disco that time. 9 points picked up by New York.
And that was a perfectly timed takeout by Piston Broke, forcing Jonathan R. to call that jam. Piston Broke was pretty proud of himself right then and there. And I'm going to say nice, smart move by Piston Broke because that stopped Jonathan R. from scoring any more points. 9 on that last jam brought this game once again to a tied game.
Yep. 92-92 with just over 19 minutes left in this half.
So Furio and Kenbo Slice doing the dance on the Lebeda Wheels jammer line. Both jammers with fantastic footwork, fantastic skates as well. Kenbo Slice getting lead jammer for the New York Shock Exchange for the 3rd jam in a row.
Mr. Furio getting knocked out, but coming back in, knowing who he's passed. So that's nice. He is up. He's through.
Oh, and there goes Malcolm Sex, number 7.
So Malcolm's going to be out.
Wow.
Like, she was calling the forearm on him. I thought she was calling on Furia. So that is Malcolm's 7th. And also, time for me to mention, I did promise Malcolm I'd do a shout out for him. So,
well, you wanted a shout out. Unfortunately, he just fouled out.
Zing.
Yeah, that's one of those bummers where you're just like such a key player in the New York
really
Shock Exchange
is.
program. And I'd like to give a shout out for his beard personally.
Yeah,
excellent beard, Malcolm Sex. Probably not the way he wanted this game to go, but he did make some super clutch plays while he was out there.
He really did. That was the thing, is I was looking at him at half, and he was one of the 2 in jeopardy, off of New York, and he's been such a key player in keeping those jammers back this whole time.
So this is the second 0-0 jam of the second half. We're going to have to wait and see who's going to substitute. Looks like Jeffery, number 42 in black, will be subbing in. Jeffery only with 1 penalty in the game. Nice work by Jeffery. Sadly, his 1 penalty was the same penalty that Malcolm Sex fouled out on, a forearm.
Yeah. It comes full circle. Oh, actually, is he...
Oh, life.
Is Jeff...
Oh, Jeff is not going to be subbing.
They switched.
So that's
they switched
automatic.
on you. Yes.
Yeah.
So Otter's going to take Malcolm's place in the box, having not done anything bad, just coming in as pivot. We're going to start off this jam. Of course, we've got 1 New York in the box, so we do have pack advantage to So Disco.
So from the Lebeda Wheels jammer line, we did see I Am Havoc and Blitzkrieg. I Am Havoc getting out first. It is a jammer duel right there, getting lead jam for New York Shock Exchange for the 4th jam in a row. Southern Discomfort looking for a skating out of bounds. No, 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 says the refs. Jam gets called, 1 point. So we do have a lead change in the favor of New York City's own New York Shock Exchange. 92 on the board for Southern Discomfort roller derby. 93 for New York Shock Exchange. 17 minutes and 23 seconds left to go, Sleazer.
Such an exciting game so far, and now they're going to keep it tight, tight, tight.
We see the floating heads once again. That can mean one thing to me. That is Reaper is at the Lebeda Wheels jammer line up against Abe Drinkin.
Sure enough, we have a little bit of a slow start. Reaper trying to do his extremely agile juking through that pack. Not this time, says New York.
Well, down goes Abe Drinkin as Reaper gets forced to the outside. The pack is stalled at the Antic pivot line. Abe Drinkin just trying to plow through that snow blinding wall of white. Reaper trying to stay clean and legal, gets dragged back by Tank Lloyd Wright.
Such a tough wall put up by So Disco here. Abe is trying to make his way through. He's got his hands up. Make sure he doesn't accidentally incur some penalty.
Abe gets taken to the outside, and a back block is being called on number 76 in white. That's Illbilly. Meanwhile, 76 in white is going to the Derby Elite penalty box. So is 67 in black. That's a palindrome in the penalty box situation right there. 7667, even I knew that.
Tank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, Tank Lloyd Wright did something wrong, so now he is in the Derby Elite penalty box. Reaper trying to get past that 3-wall. Whistle's being called. Oh, and Reaper tiptoed just a little bit too much to the inside, so that is a track cut. We do have a lead jammer. 5th jam in a row in the favor of the New York Shock Exchange. Nice. Abe Drinkin was drawn back to the back of the pack, though, Sleazer.
No, Abe's now trying to make his way through. So Disco is down 1 blocker who is about to re-enter play.
And there's only 18 seconds left in the jam.
Right.
Neither jammer had gotten out of the pack.
Yeah.
Well, Abe technically got out of the pack, was declared lead, and got sucked right back in by the Knights of Discomfort. Abe decides to call it. That's going to be a 0-0 jam. Wow. So far, this second period, we've seen 3 0-0 jams, 2 lead changes, and 1 tie.
That's amazing.
This is the kind of derby that we were talking about.
Right.
That we were so Jones to see.
Yeah.
And feeling so lucky that we get to call this action. 92 on the scoreboard for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, 93 for the New York Shock Exchange. 14 minutes and 57 seconds left to go.
At that 5-second call, we are about to get started. Here we go. All 4 of So Disco's blockers back on the floor. Their jammer's the only one missing. Jonathan R. out there trying to press his way through their 4-man square of defense.
Yeah, trying to get past Sam Droid. Sam Droid just sticking to him like glue. Sutton Impact putting some impact into Jonathan R., tossing him back. Reaper trying to get past Jeffery. Jeffery staying up with Tank Lloyd Wright and Ottermatic, holding the pack together. Spectral going to the penalty box for a clockwise block. Lead jammer going to Reaper. You can see that head bobbing in the crowd once again. But Jonathan R., this is the battle of the leggings. Both of these gentlemen, fantastic dance skaters. Reaper with a big jump, takes a tumble.
Oh, man. It looks like he took somebody
out
in that.
Well, there was a track cut.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be stopped for injury.
Oh. So it's number 42 in black. That's Jeffery. He's getting up. He and Reaper. Both went down. 1-point game, very intense, but Reaper making sure Jeffery is okay. Jeffery is A-okay. You know, Jeffery started his career with Long Island Roller Rebels, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
right?
way back in the day when his sister, I believe, helped start that league. Captain Morgan. So he started as a referee, hence the name, Jeffery.
Yeah.
But he's been skating with the Shock Exchange, I believe, since their inception or shortly thereafter. He's just a great player to have out on the track. Very strong derby knowledge. big size, big speed, big strength. I love
Definitely.
watching Jeffrey skate personally. As a bigger blocker myself, it's always impressive to see how easily that man can maneuver through the pack. So I'm glad to see that he's doing okay, because New York Shock Exchange would be seriously lost if we lost Jeffrey from this game.
Certainly another one of the key players out there. It looks like this has turned into an official timeout. Initially, the jam was called for injury because it was a Reaper had taken he did a really fantastic apex jump, but he did it right into another person.
Well, and that remains to be seen. We're going to have to wait and see what the call is. There was a collision in the air. Hopefully, we'll get an update for you. But Jeffrey is going to have to sit out for the next 3 jams, of course. That is one thing that we do know for certain. Everything else is kind of up in the air until we get a clarification from the officials. So meanwhile, we just want to say thank you so much to our sponsors for all the support that they've given us. Did you know that there will be a trophy presentation later on tomorrow that has been brought to you by Radar?
Nice.
Also, we want to say thank you. Not only is Derby Elite sponsoring the penalty box, and they've sponsored Team USA Men's, but they are also presenting the MVP awards this weekend, so that's very cool of them. Moda is going to be doing a Moda Skates raffle, for a custom set of boots and plates.
Ooh.
Very nice. Thank you, Moda. And there's going to be also a 50-50 going on in-house this weekend. So if you're on your way here tomorrow, or you're chilling out in your hotel right now and just kind of regaining your strength because this game is blowing you away, do contribute, because it's going to be 50-50 raffle in-house with portion of the proceeds going to Providence St. Louis.
This has turned into an official review for New York Shock Exchange, so we're probably going to be hanging out for a couple more minutes. I know some people had told me they were showing up specifically for Sunday, so if you are, as you said, hanging out at the hotel, or you intend to come in tomorrow, I'd like to mention a couple of our awesome in-house sponsors that you can visit if you come on by, and some of them do travel to other tournaments. Persephone's Treasures.
Oh yeah, they're all over, man. They do great work.
No, she does great work. They can do custom heat printing, full color printing, rhinestones, and embroidery.
The glitter.
Yes, custom decorated apparel, koozies, stickers, window clings, and decals. Anything you need personalized, you can visit Persephone's Treasures. So if you buy a t-shirt here and you need your name on your back,
oh yeah,
I put my name on like everything. My name is on the side of my glasses.
Well, I mean, you don't want to forget who you are, just in case.
Well,
you never know.
I just need everybody to know who I am.
Oh, girl, they already know who you are the second you walk into the room. Okay.
What? Also, we've got one of our local to Missouri, Bruce Ferry from Cape Girardeau Roller Girl. She's got her booth out here at the gift shop. So they have some really unique swag. I was eyeballing some delightful cat leggings, but I can never decide.
Then buy them all. Just buy them all. That's what I do.
Then I wear leggings all the time.
Duh.
What
day of the week is it? Leggings day.
It's actually it's Catter Day. Don't pressure me.
Catter Day?
Don't pressure me.
I don't know what that means because I don't internet, but I know that Catter Day ends in Y, so why not buy some leggings? Just saying.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me right now, and that's perfectly.
Oh, no pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
Just trying to support the sponsors that support the greatest damn sport that ever was, just saying. So we're having a little bit of a lengthy official review.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty substantial. The skaters doing as usual, hassling the jam timer. Low aneurysm. They do it. I used to love being the jam timer, but you got to like keep it together while the skaters are...
Well, and especially with, excuse me for saying this, those two goofballs, Sutton Impact and Sam Droid, are one of the like jovial pairs of skaters out there in MRDA today. They're just ridiculous and fun and funny, and I can guarantee they're going to try to crack Lou Aneurysm, but she is a pro.
She is a pro.
She's got pro gear and the right attitude, so she is going to ignore them. She doesn't even know we're talking about her right now.
Speaking of fun and funny guys, I do want to give a shout out to two of my friends in UK I know are listening. That is King Crazy and Roller
King Crazy.
Polar Bear. Both having a special place in my heart.
Same here. I love me some King Crazy like you don't even know. He was one of the announcers at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
Yeah, he was like...
Fantastic gentleman.
The first time I was on feet, I was on with him.
Aww.
And I was super nervous, and he was like so nice.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He's amazing. He's like a naturally
People have no idea how stressful announcing can be because we have to be fans that kind of keep our cool yet
we've got to keep it
deliver
together.
The nation to the uninformed fan so that they can become educated fan.
I'm going to try to get educated on what this official review is.
All right, I'm going to keep talking about how
Do
awesome King Crazy and the Men's Roller Derby World Cup was, and I can't wait till the next one. It is going to be held in Calgary Alberta, Canada. Cannot wait. Those are some of the finest hostesses with the mostesses up there in Calgary. So we're going to get this jam underway. Hopefully we'll get an update for you soon. Furio will be jamming for the Southern Discomfort, and Kenbo Slice is going to be your lead jammer for Shock Exchange. Sleazer, do you have an update for us?
Yeah, New York Shock Exchange wanted to review a penalty called on Jeffrey, and the penalty was taken back. So Jeffrey's down one penalty, so he's down to only one penalty, which he scored in the first half, as I recall.
Yeah, good on you, Jeffrey. And he's
Right.
healthy and doing well. He still has to sit out for 2 more jams, though. That was
It's
the
true.
one, and we're going to get to the 2. So 4 points picked up by Kenbo Slice. I like that the DJ is currently playing American Girl, American Boy, excuse me, by Kanye West and Estelle. I think that was for Kenbo Slice because that American Boy picked up 4 more points against
Nice.
some blokes from the UK.
Well
92
done,
on
well
the board
done.
for Southern Discomfort. It was a stretch, guys. Come on. It's early in my world. 97 for Shock Exchange. Up at the top of the pack. Hell yeah, Hells Bells is coach. Shroom gets out and gets lead jammer.
An out of play called on Sammy. He's going to have a seat in the box. He is followed up by Illbilly, who looks to have gotten a back block.
Very, very fast pack right here. Shrooms is going to call it, getting 0 points, unfortunately. Didn't get his hips passed before he went out of bounds. Called the jam. Nice play by Shock Exchange. A little frustration by Shrooms. He's shrugging it off, though. So only 5 points separating these two teams with 12 minutes and 12 seconds left to go. Lining up already for New York Shock Exchange. That's Jonathan R. The R stands for Rocky, just saying. And jamming for Knights of Discomfort, that is Blitzkrieg.
I couldn't quite see the number. You got it. Jonathan R. is your lead jammer, even though they are so close to each other right now. Jonathan seems to know it, though. I think he's going to try to pop into that pack, touching his
Ooh.
hips as he does so. But it looks
Beautiful
like
hit by Sutton Impact, too. That was perfectly timed. 0 points for Jonathan R. and New York Shock Exchange. 2 more points for Blitzkrieg and Southern Discomfort. Excellent, excellent, excellent hit before that 4th whistle. Perfectly timed to get a couple more points, closing the gap to 3 points separating these two teams. 94 on the board for Southern Discomfort, 97 for Shock Exchange. 11 minutes, 18 seconds to go.
Mr. Furia taking the line for So Disco. This is up against number 9, Kenbo Slice from New York Shock Exchange.
Now, Kenbo did just jam 2 jams ago. Kenbo Slice doing a great job of tiptoeing up lane 4, picking up lead jam for the Shock Exchange for the 3rd jam in a row. Actually, Kenbo Slice has gotten lead jam every time he's been out on the track this period.
That's
3 for
amazing.
3 for number 9.
Furia coming through on the inside is through and is going to be coming on his first scoring pass. In the meantime, 5 points picked up by Kenbo for the New York Shock Exchange, making that spread a little spreadier.
Tank Lloyd Wright getting 5 more points, taking a trip to the penalty box. Kenbo Slice calling it.
Furia was turned around looking at him. I'm not sure what the plan was, but just as he approached the pack, that was called. So nothing picked up by Southern Discomfort that time. A 5-point jam for New York. 102-94, 10:10 left on the clock.
So Havoc will be wearing the star for the Shock Exchange. I'm sorry. Is that Havoc? Yes,
It is.
that is Havoc.
It
Okay,
is.
just making sure. I just got hypnotized by all the awesome skaters on the track. And
That-
jamming once again for Sodisco is Blitzkrieg. Very tight packs, just getting past that antic pivot line. Still in turn 1. Neither has advanced past the apex. Back goes New York Shock Exchange, taking Shrooms back. I'm sorry, that's Shrooms. I should have known better.
It's true. I'm sorry. Who did you say it was?
Yes.
Okay, I'm here. I'm with you. Everything's all right. Shrooms is being recycled quite a bit back. Not like a Malcolm Sex time warp back, but back enough.
And Malcolm Sex is no longer in the game for those of you just tuning in.
It's
Crucial
true.
key player to the New York Shock Exchange line. Picked up his 7th early on in the game. Early on in the second
half.
period, excuse me. almost up the inside, flipped out by Spectral. Spectral takes I Am Havoc out. I Am Havoc all the way to the back of the paint. Sudden Impact saying, let's take this back just a bit. Sam Droid just doing great blocking, tag teaming with the pivot Piston Broke. Shroom's doing everything he can to get past Abe Drinkin. Abe Drinkin forcing him into the infield. And whistles are being blown. Let's see what the penalty call was. But everybody's skating backwards. It's kind of like a Back to the Future right there. Nice footwork by I Am Havoc. Wow, crunching hit of Piston Broke. Piston Broke going to the penalty box, however. Spectral taking Havoc to the outside once again. Havoc with a bit of a smile and saying, Spectral may have my number, but now I got the best of him up the inside, taking lead jammer, only with 6 seconds left in the jam. Wow.
Piston Broke is in the danger zone at this point. I mean, it's 5. It's 5. That last penalty, it looks like it was blocking Canada play. So, I mean, he's at 5. Illbilly's at 6. Oh, I didn't even notice that. So our people in jeopardy right now, Piston Broke and Illbilly from So Disco. Still Abe Drinkin sitting at 5 on New York Shock Exchange. Otherwise, the penalties are pretty, staying in the 1, 2, 3, or 0. Several people.
That's usually the best range to stay in. If you can stay in the 0 range, that means you're usually doing pretty all right.
For as much as they've been out there, Shrooms and Mr. Furia have gotten no penalties whatsoever this entire game, and that's amazing.
Well, now that you said that out loud, they're going to get 75 penalties. What did you do?
I mean, they've had all the penalties.
All right, so we have an official review. I think they're officially reviewing that last call that we just had.
Okay.
No, actually, it's going to be an official review from So Disco. 94 on the board for the gentlemen of the Knights of Discomfort. 105 for the New York Shock Exchange. 7 minutes and 34 seconds says the period clock.
I do have to update. It was Piston Broke. I thought this was updating faster in front of me. It was a misconduct that he had been sent to the box for this last time, and that was his 6th penalty. So both Illbilly and Piston Broke sitting on 6 penalties. Things could get, I don't know. They're both also key players, so this can be like, you know. I don't want to say I don't want to see them foul out, but I don't.
Well, you never want to see a skater fall out because we know how hard these guys are working.
No, and these two have been in and on the floor repeatedly and doing a great job of really controlling
huge impact. Not just Sutton impact, but also Piston Broke and Illbilly. Huge impact for the Knights of Discomfort. So we're going to get you an update shortly. Meanwhile, I can tell you that Blitzkrieg now is going to be starting out the jam on the La Beta Wheels jammer line. He will be facing off against Jonathan R. So, Sleazer, I see that you have some exciting news to tell us.
There's a little bit of a points discrepancy. It looked like some ghost points were awarded when they shouldn't have been. So there's going to be 2 points coming off of Southern Discomfort's score, bringing them down to 94.
All right, so 94 on the board for Sodisco, 103 for the Nicey. And it's really nice when you're Jonathan R. grabbing lead jammer. He is all business. Not even any time for the signature thumbs up.
Aww.
Nice. There we go. He said, I'll show you, Val. I'm all business, but it's a pleasure to pick up 5 more points for my team, the New York Shock Exchange. It's pretty much what he just said to us. Swooping around the outside. Illbilly taking him out into the ref lane. Sutton Impact dragging him all the way back. But meanwhile, Blitzkrieg also dragged back Carl LeFou. Take out by Sutton Impact at the back of the pack.
Blitzkrieg is still trying to make his way through on his initial pass. He's going to do a star pass to Piston, who runs away with it unopposed by New York. So the star has been passed to Piston Broke.
Abe Drinkin, number 20 for Black, New York Shock Exchange, goes to the penalty box with a stop block. Piston Broke did get out, and he was about to start scoring. Did a little stompy, little dance right in front of his bench, just with a smile on his face nonetheless.
That's legit.
So 0 points scored by Southern Discomfort. 112 on the board for New York Shock Exchange. And a team timeout is going to be assessed to the bench of the Southern Discomfort.
So, of course, hopefully you know about the MRDA, but I want to tell you a little bit anyway. With its ever-growing membership expanding worldwide, the MRDA is excited to announce it will be holding 3 playoff tournaments to determine who qualifies for the 2016 championships. 2 of the playoffs will be held in North America, and 1 will be held in Europe. Bidding for the tournaments will begin shortly. Does your local Murder League want to host one?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
There is no better way to get better than to watch top caliber roller derby.
Yeah. No, so if you want to bid to be the host next year, definitely check out the MRDA website. Some pretty exciting news. It looks like we are about to get action back underway. Luann Urism giving us the 5-second signal.
So Furio will be doing the dance against Kenbo Slice.
A good pairing again. Ooh,
Furio jumping past Sammy Dangerfield, grabbing lead jammer. Furio getting lead jam for the first time since Reaper did in the 11th jam.
Mm-hmm.
Big takeouts going on the track. Oh, and Kenbo Slice going to the penalty box for New York Shock Exchange as Mr. Furia gets out of the pack, picking up 5 more points, closing the gap, bringing their score total 99 for Southern Discomfort, 112 for the New York Shock Exchange. Furio hitting the back of the pack once again, swooping around the outside. Down goes Sammy Dangerfield and Furio. Out goes Abe Drinkin as well. Furio re-enters the pack, has 1 blocker left at the top of the pack, gets around him. I don't care, Bear had to let him go. 5 more points, so we have 104 on the board for Southern Discomfort, 112 for the New York Shock Exchange. Furio again on a scoring pass. Furio has 1 blocker left in front of him. Abe Drinkin trying to force him to the infield, and in comes the rest of the New York Shock Exchange blockers as Kenbo Slice exits the Derby Elite penalty box. Furio has 1 blocker left. It is Sammy Dangerfield. Stays on his skates, takes a bit of a tumble, recovers. That is going to be 109 on the board for Sodisco, 112 for the Shock Exchange. No points for Kenbo Slice, as that was his initial pass. Furio in the pack. The entire venue is going absolutely bananas. Down goes Kenbo Slice. The jam gets called. 0 points on the board for Shock Exchange. And we have a 1-point game again, ladies and gentlemen. We have 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. 111 on the scoreboard for Southern Discomfort. 112 for the New York Shock Exchange.
New York Shock Exchange, I believe, is calling for an official review. So hopefully we'll have some info on that soon. It has not started yet. As you said, a 1-point game. This is pretty exciting. We have a pretty substantial crowd out here.
Yeah, St. Louis Derby is some of the greatest Derby community in the entire Derby nation. They sure know how to throw an event. Thank you so much to the St. Louis gatekeepers for their hospitality and all their hard work, and all the St. Louis Derby community as well. So we're going to wait and see what the official review is.
It's it turned into just a timeout.
Okay.
Yeah, so now it's just, that was it. They were just saying, oh, it's just a timeout. So
okay.
Okay.
So
they used the wrong hand signal to call for it.
They've officially reviewed their hand signals and said, nah, it was supposed to be a T, not an O. Sorry, y'all. Because, you can use your official review as a timeout if you want, but Shock Exchange had a full complement of timeouts. They have 4 minutes and 52 seconds. That's still a lot of Derby to be played.
Right.
Oh, and here we have him, 666, back on the jam line. Reaper going up against Havoc. I am Havoc, sporting number 275. Solid, tight walls by both teams. Havoc trying to get through that white wall. Havoc takes a bit of a tumble, trying to get past Ballistic Whistle. Can he stay legal? No, he has to go back to the back of the pack, as does Reaper. Now he's going to the penalty box. I am Havoc with a track cut. I am Havoc is going to be sitting at least 30 seconds in the Derby Elite penalty box as Reaper is trying to get past that 4-wall of defense from New York. Reaper is the only jammer on the track, therefore has all the attention from the New York Shock Exchange. Great takeout by the blockers from New York. So Disco keeping Automatic busy at the top of the pack. Boss Bear trying to keep Abe Drinkin at bay, looking for a track cut, not going to get it. Reaper trying to get past, can't get past. Big takeout by Ill Billy onto Carl LaFoe. Reaper now trying to get up the inside, staying clean and legal, grabbing lead jammer for the Southern Discomfort, Knights of Discomfort. I am Havoc back on the pack, has to do the dance with number 77 in white, that is Boss Bear, living up to his name. Reaper now scoring points as I am Havoc tries to sneak up the inside. And that's going to be a forearm called on Ill Billy. Ill Billy, that is unfortunately, Sleazer, I think he got some bad news for the fans of Ill Billy.
That is going to be Ill Billy's 7th penalty. So he's going to the box to the pivot. And he'll sit for this jam if this jam lasts, over 30 seconds, which, just as I say it, of course.
Well, down goes Reaper.
So we got to see who's going to replace him in the box. Down goes Reaper. It looked like he took a pretty substantial hit there.
Very big hit, courtesy of the defense from New York Shock Exchange. He's doing okay. He just needs to catch his breath a bit. Great teamwork by the Southern Discomfort, making sure that their jammer, who just regained the lead for them, 112 on the board, Shock Exchange 114 Southern Discomfort. Reaper is doing well. He is breathing on the bench with his teammate, doing just fine.
He's taking his helmet off. He's going to have a little bit of a breather. The EMTs are going to have a look at him just for the sake of safety, but I don't think that was called for his penalty or for his injury. Lead jammer is going to go to Blitzkrieg from So Disco. I didn't see that arm go up.
Sammy Dangerfield going to the penalty box for New York Shock Exchange, as is Piston Broke. Piston Broke, this may have been his 7th as well. We're going to have to wait for the update on that.
If he sits down, that is his 7th, and it looks like he sat down, yeah?
And right now, Blitzkrieg is saying, I'm going to calm it down a little bit, decides to call the jam.
Oof.
Not sure if that's going to be the best decision because he does have 2 of his teammates in the penalty box.
He does.
Then again, so does the New York Shock Exchange. So this might be the perfect time for Mr. Furia to do what he is well known for across Derby Nation.
Looks like Abe Drinkin from New York Shock Exchange got an illegal procedure, and he is going to be fouling out. I still don't have an update on Piston Broke. I know we're past the 29th jam, though. I believe around 34 or 35. Oops. Oh, sorry. Well, it would be in the entire game for those of you watching at home. I know it's jam 18
Jam
of this
18
half.
is what we just wrapped up. We're going into jam 19.
But our updates are coming through 1 through blah. They don't
There's a lot. Well, here's the thing, though. There's a lot of penalties going on here.
Right.
And as hard as it is for us to keep up, I mean, we're just going to kind of, you want to make sure you dot every T and cross every I.
Right. You don't want to foul out somebody that didn't deserve the foul out.
I mean, I'm not fouling you out, Sleazer.
I would hope not.
No, certainly not.
Incurred no penalties whatsoever.
I might give you MVA, most valuable announcer of the game. Just saying.
No.
Just saying. Bringing us all these awesome updates. Are you kidding me?
Stop.
Oh, never.
Looks like we have gone into an official review, so.
Well, now this is actually going to be a team timeout, according to our scoreboard operator.
According to our jam timer, it's an official review. We'll find out.
Yeah, Lou Aneurysm is saying official timeout, but we do see the second timeout flashing on the New York Stock Exchange scoreboard, so I'm going to go with team timeout.
It could have been a team timeout that turned into an official timeout.
Oh, there you go.
It could have been doubled up.
MVA, my girl.
Oh, stop.
Just saying. All right, so back to the action on the track. Kenbo Slice wearing the star for the New York Shock Exchange once again. Forced into the infield. Mr. Furio. Oh, that is free and clear goes Kenbo Slice. He will not be lead jammer, though.
Lead is still open. If Mr. Furia secures it.
Yeah, Furia knocked in the infield. Kenbo Slice up the inside.
Not lead, but he is scoring. What's he got? 5 points on the board for New York Stock Exchange.
Nice hit by number 33 in white, Roland Stoner, taking out Sammy Dangerfield. Kenbo Slice, boom, there you go. Back and forth. Lead change in the favor of New York Shock Exchange once again. So Furio does get out. He's going to call that jam. 0 points awarded. And everybody in the room is freaking out. People are banging on the boards. I think that's Magnum PIMP was banging on the slats of glass here. We're going to see what that call was. Yes, Kenbo Slice is starting in the box.
Oh, my. Okay.
So that was a misconduct charge to Kenbo Slice. And a timeout is being called by Jonathan R.
Ooh, okay, so we've got 47 seconds left on the clock. So we were going to have another jam regardless, but we're definitely going to have another jam now.
At least another jam.
5 points separating these two brilliant teams. New York Shock Exchange 124, Southern Discomfort, the Knights of Discomfort at 119.
And here we look at it.
The
advantage is going to the Southern Discomfort, Knights of Discomfort. Shrooms is getting everybody pumped up. He is wearing the stripe. Should he have to take the star from the one and only Mr. Furia? In the box is Kenbo Slice alongside one of his teammates. That is Carl LeFou. Carl LeFou, pretty clean game so far. Inopportune time to start in the penalty box. However, it's a 4-3 pack advantage in the favor of Southern Discomfort. Starting at the antic skates pivot line. The pivot, Jonathan R. taking advantage of that helmet cover, ensuring that nobody else can line up on that line. So we're going to get things underway. So says Luann Urism, the jam timer.
Rue was just stopping by to say we were doing a great job. I thought she had an update for me.
Oh, well, thank you for the update.
Right.
We are doing a great job.
Thank
hey,
you for
high
the
fives, good buddy. There we go.
I was like, wait, they're mine? Oh, it's my high fives.
Yay. You've earned them,
What a
MVA.
day.
You've earned them. So, Ballistic Whistle coming out to talk to his teammate Sam Droid now, making sure that everybody's having a good time, staying calm and chill. Meanwhile, we have the menacing wall out there of Jonathan R., Jeffrey, and Sammy Dangerfield making up that defensive blocking pack for the New York Shock Exchange. Spectral and Sam Droid still conferring, awaiting some instruction from Shrooms.
So in this game, for each team, we've seen 1 or 2 players each. Piston Broke and Illbilly will not be featured in this jam as they have fouled out earlier in the game. And then from New York Shock Exchange, Malcolm Sex and Abe Drinkin.
And, you know, here's the thing. Both teams, those are 2 key players.
Yeah, those are
Both
2
teams,
substantially
those 2
key
players
yeah.
played a lot of derby today.
Yes.
And when you play a lot, penalties sometimes can stack up.
It can happen.
Both those players on both the teams, very solid, smart, savvy skaters. There's a lot of S's.
It's a little bit of a bit of a game changer to have these 2 and 2 gone. So I don't know. I've had goosebumps waiting for this last jam to happen, and now we're on an official review for New York Shock Exchange, and I'm just like, ooh. They're totally playing the final countdown in the venue.
You know, and yeah, I usually say, cue the Europe. It's time for the final countdown, and they already started that game.
Right.
Thank you to our DJs in-house. They're doing a great job. We have been in this official review for a bit of a while.
Yeah.
2 minutes and 59 seconds, so says the review clock. But this is the kind of lengthy review that I know people get frustrated when we have long OTOs, official timeouts, and reviews. But this game, it's worth it to just hang out, take a deep breath. I know that both of us need to take a deep breath right now. I don't know if you can hear my partner off mic, but still, you could kind of hear it on mic. She was saying, I have goosebumps. Like, it's true. This is the kind of electric entertainment you are seeing here with one of the greatest sports in all of history, time, and space. Men's flat track roller derby. I could not be prouder to get to call this game with you, Julia Sleazer. It has been a blast.
Been brilliant.
And I'm so excited to see what the 47 seconds that are left in this game between these 2 teams has in store for us.
Well, what it's got in store is certainly one more jam. That's what that 47 seconds is going to hold for us. So it's going to hold,
my friend, at least.
It's going to be amazing.
So again, we're going to be awaiting the official word from the official review. In the meanwhile, we just want to thank you so much to all of our sponsors that are supporting Men's Roller Derby Association.
Once again, one of our big sponsors, Rydell. If you haven't heard of Rydell skates, they are unmatched quality and unmatched performance.
And we are about to see some unmatched performance courtesy of the skates of Mr. Furio. Mr. Furio lining up alone on the Lebeda Wheels jam line. His pivot is Shrooms, Sudden Impact, and Spectral Aberration make up the rest of the Southern Discomfort pack, accompanied by Sam Droid. Great swarming by Spectral and Shrooms, holding back the pivot. That is Jonathan R. Jonathan R. wearing the stripe. Furio trying to get past Jeffrey and Sammy Dangerfield. Furio finding the inside hole. He does grab lead jammer for Southern Discomfort. That is Mr. Furia. Out of the box now. Another blocker from New York Shock Exchange. Jonathan R. recycled all the way to the back of the pack. Furio taken to the outside. Now back in the mix. Jeffrey trying to slow down Furio at turn 3. In comes Kenbo Slice to face a wall of white.
An update, it was on Kimbo. They were trying to assess whether or not he had engaged after the 4th whistle. The call did stand, and that's why Kimbo was still sitting in the box as we started off this jam.
Furio and Kenbo Slice are now scoring. Sudden Impact takes Kenbo Slice to the outside. This jam is still continuing. The period clock has ended. The jam clock always supersedes the period clock, so the jam is continuing. Furio trying to get past that wall of black. Bit of assistance from Shrooms, trying to sweep Jeffrey out of the way. Handing off the star to Shrooms. Whistles being blown. Sudden Impact into the penalty box. Kenbo Slice taken to the back by Sam Droid. Another New York Shock Exchange blocker into the box. Furio stashes that star, repositions it above on his helmet. Picks up 5 more points. Do they have enough? Do they have enough?
Well, right now,
Kenbo Slice getting out of the pack. Furio trying to pick up more points, taking a bit of a tumble. 4 points picked up by Kenbo. So now we're just trading points back and forth and back and forth. That is 5 points for Kenbo, as he did pass Furio. Furio out of the pack now. Does he have enough points to call? 4 points picked up by Furio. Kenbo Slice trying to find a hole. Sam Droid trying to keep the speed up so that he cannot be scored upon. We're going to have to wait and see how many points were awarded on that last pass. And as it looks to be, 4 more points were picked up by Shock Exchange. Kenbo Slice. Kenbo and Furio both on the track together. Furio down on the ground, just taking a moment. Kenbo Slice making sure his brother in arms is okay.
That was a 9-9 jam that brought New York Shock Exchange unofficially to 133 to Southern Discomfort's 128. So the unofficial final.
So Furio down on the ground, takes his helmet off. In comes teammate Illbilly to ensure his brother is okay, as does Bill Coulter from Your Mom. Furio skating off. And it looks like we are going to have to wait for the official final, but the DJ is cueing some Jay-Z from the Empire State. Most definitely. And they're going to call it to New York Shock Exchange. Is going to retain that lead and that victory. 128 on the board for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, 133 for the New York Shock Exchange.